disturb you and keep messing with your brain.
Just to keep this on point, this is specifically about capitalism. Like
No, I ain't in no capitalism
this
bullshit.
This is what the talk is on. The talk
links into capitalism.
Yeah.
You can't accuse the government and shit like that because it's a lie. Everybody is operating under the radar of the government. Nobody want to talk about that. I'm not here talking for acceptance, attention, and the spotlight. I'm here for disabled people, homeless people that's being abused. If you spoon-fed, thank you. Stay spoon-fed. And this is the realization of reality. Everybody wants you to escape reality because they don't know nothing about how you've been abused. And you know what? The whole thing is the narcotic task force. They behind a lot of it. Ain't nobody gonna talk about that. Nobody's gonna talk about it. Because if you're an informant, you're gonna be on parole, fellow of probation, and you can only talk about so much. A lot of these people here is full of shit. They is being abused through medication, through the hospital, because they link together. And nobody will tell the goddamn truth. Excuse my language. I apologize and I subtract. You got to get to
capitalism and the connection it has with ecology and the connection it has with capitalism. And I feel, and anybody who understands how capitalism works, it produces a lot of excess of bullshit that doesn't even need to be produced in the first place. So when we're talking about environmental damage, we have a system that pumps out useless shit that doesn't need to be in our life in the first place. And where does a lot of that useless shit goes? It goes into our landfill, situates the situation that's already there. And obviously, because their countries aren't regulated, the problems continue to grow, and it's just a never-ending spiral of chaos and whatnot.
Awesome. Yeah.
Environmental struggles are not always at the point of production. Meaning, the traditional way of thinking about revolution was, where's the workers? Right? They got the power of the strike. Right? They can go on the general strike, shut down the system. What you're seeing with environmental movements is the struggle is taking place at the point of consumption or the point of reproduction, which is just a fancy way of saying it's taking place where people live, it's taking place in people's bodies. Think about struggles around health. It's taking place around ecosystems where the indigenous peoples and other peoples are still living to some extent outside of the money economy. So a lot of times I think traditional leftists kind of missed what was going on in the world of social movements because they were always looking for point of production. But the system is complex, and as you were saying, it's also about waste, right? There's millions of people that live in the world in waste dumps the recycling is taking place around the world. People are living there, making do. But you're right. So much of what's produced in the system shouldn't be produced, right? It's in the first place. And that's where a problem is with a lot of traditional leftist arguments around just jobs, right? We just need more jobs. Well, we got to ask, what kind of jobs? First of all, are they good jobs? Are they dignified? Can you live on them? Because there's a lot of crappy jobs out there. That's not necessarily the solution. But beyond even that, what is being produced? And you start with the military. That used to be, you provide a lot of jobs to the military. These days, it's kind of like a video game parlor. It's drone pilots, and it's a much more pared down. So military Keynesianism ain't what it was in the 40s. But even if it was, even if the military and all these wars provided a lot of employment, you got to ask, is that a viable solution, right? And let's not forget, the military is one of the main causes of environmental degradation on all kinds of levels, right? It's not regulated. They don't even follow the basic EPA laws. So thinking about once you integrate an environmental awareness into the critique of capitalism, you can start seeing sites of resistance everywhere, and that's one way to look at it. I think that's positive. Like any way you look, whether it's battles around around health, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Week or whatever they call it, right? That's a corporate health campaign around an issue, a cancer epidemic, or part of that the pharmaceutical industry is, because what ACT UP did, the 1980s, was it took the medical establishment to task. It said, look, it's not enough that only the experts speak about, our bodies. People that are living with this disease, the brother up there was saying earlier, talking about abuse. It's like, yeah, people that have experienced things, they should also be in the mix, and they should have their voices heard. And that really did have a huge influence on shifting the power imbalance between the professionals and the experts and the people that are suffering. Same thing going on with the indigenous peoples' struggles around dams and ecology. Nowadays, the World Bank actually does, at least on a perfunctory level.
It's like, special light bulbs and stuff. It's not their fault, they're the victims. And so to make sure we squarely place the blame on whose fault it is, and that's, the system of capitalism. Another thing also is that we can't, separate ourselves from the system. We cannot be fully autonomous. As you said, enclosed cultures are forced to come and join it. So the idea of, if I get a cabin up in the woods and become fully sustainable, that will somehow combat, capitalism, that is all our world, and the world's still gonna, go down in a blaze there, whether you are living sustainably in the hills or not. And then the other I think false that even some on the left will falsely blame is population, and the idea that an overpopulated world is to blame for ecological degradation. That it all comes down to kind of the mode of production, right? If Oakland was produced by hunting and gathering, you might be able to have.
Yeah, because we are definitely going to see right-wing movements on the environment. Not in the U.S. maybe initially, because the American Republican Party isn't the fascist. Definitely going to see that in Europe. And it's Mediterranean.
Say what?
What do you want to say?
I don't want to say nothing really. This is what the government wants. Protest, civil war, martial law, they're going to impose pretty soon on all these people. A lot of people are useful idiots. A lot of them have good hearts. But after the collapse of America, then they're going to come in 2012 and say that the higher beings are here for this utopia on Earth that many people are wanting, but really it's men and their technology, okay? And then they're going to revive the computer system, and that's going to be the image of the beast, computer image. See, anyone that's read the Bible. The right wing, they're going to think it's Jesus. The left wing is going to embrace the utopia, but it's really men and their technology that are going to come in 2012.
Johan. Come on.
Get calm.
Anybody can ride it.
Make sure everything's chill. Stay cool.
It's giving power to. Let's keep a level head. Supplies 1 to 10. More people coming But I'm gonna have to introduce you as I go.
You want to say something?
I don't really have much.
Oh, you come, Bember, say something. How do you like your life? Call your bridges, say, come down. Hold on, let me record it.
My life, personally, not too happy with it, but hopefully this will help something. Everything's just all screwed up everywhere right now because bad things are governments do. But a lot of the people, it's not just the government that's screwing this stuff up. Some of the kids in the high school, they aren't making it any better. They're getting into fights over colors, over stupid shit. So basically, this is bringing the people together to show that everything can be united.